Hey everybody, welcome to a midweek episode on G4G Games for Gamers with Marvel Avengers Alliance. As always, I'm Napalm Dawn, and this is the look on my face of another PvP season already. I cannot believe that we are again having another PvP season so close and in the middle of so much stuff. We are trying to end the Spider Spec Ops. We know that the PIM Spec Ops is coming soon. They've been tweeting that PIM content will be appearing in Marvel games pretty soon. They've outlined it. People have discussed that they feel that this will not simply be a suit for Ant-Man, that he will stay PIM and we will actually gain Ant-Man, who of course is the person who stole Ant-Man's suit, used it for crime, tried to give it back, and PIM was like, you know what, you reformed yourself, why don't you go ahead and keep it for good, and then it goes from there. Well, PvP Season 22 with Spiderman Noir. It's kind of like I honestly think they should have had this during the Spec Ops instead of Fixer. He's going to be kind of paralleling with Ant-Man, but people just got. We don't even have a working suit yet, and they released PvP. This is Playdom is absolutely lost their fucking minds. I mean, this is ridiculous. But okay, let's talk about it over here. So, Spider-Man Noir is the hero that you get. It is a Great Depression era Spider-Man where Peter Parker sees that Ben Parker dies, and Spider-Man tries to go undercover as a journalist. He gets bit by spiders and a spider idol, and he wakes up with some spider powers, so he becomes kind of like a Punisher-level Spider-Man in this Great Depression era setting world. Sort of like how so many worlds love steampunk, or so many worlds are like, what if the Nazis won, and the mysticism with Nazis, kind of like Castle Wolfenstein and everything. So this is this like 20s era, Depression, 30s, 40s, all that kind of stuff. So, okay, let's go full screen and look at the rewards and talk about one or two other things. Before we get into that, I have absolutely zero of the items to get the Relentless Rapier, the tech and everything like that. I think I may just actually buy the Rapier straight out this time rather than research it, and I'm down to 177 ISOs. I may hit up all my allies again, see what's going on. Today, I tried the team against Karn that everybody's been talking about. It was a blaster version, so I went Fixer and I went Enchantress, and I abused Fixer going Tactician against the Blaster, so I switched him to Tactician. I laid the mine. I knew he'd probably get hit, so when he did, I got the extra turn. I switched him to Infiltrator. I laid the mine, and then I was using the Golden Copus, the Mystic, the Weather Control Device, and the Scroll of Rudamaroth. Enchantress died, but she had several rounds of missiles on him. Fixer hit Karn for 609k damage. Took him down from 70 some odd % to death. 609,000 damage. That is literally 6 times more than the biggest hit that I've ever seen, and I think that was Molly against an Iron Fist last PvP season for about 100-ish K, 111k, and this was almost 6. Good God! What? I mean, I still only wound up, it only said I did 300k damage and gave me the silver based on that, but ooh, Jesus Christ, what a hit! So we had the Vision alts on sale, Blaster and Infiltrator. Now I wonder if this means he starts an infiltrator and then switches to blaster the way the other one goes from blaster to infiltrator. I can't exactly tell because when I look at him in the hero area, it says that his class switcher switches to melee, which is his infiltrator. It doesn't say he switches to ranged. It says melee interface. So does that mean he goes from infiltrator to infiltrator? I'm really curious about that. I've already bought the blaster version. I don't know if I want to get the infiltrator version yet. I've definitely got the CP, but... So the ISO that's on sale that goes with him is part of his passive, removes and prevent lockout effects. Now, my guess is, well, for the agent to be part of this, you either have to wear that Avengers gun, the Legionnaire gun, and absorb it from vision, or you have to run this ISO and then it doesn't matter who you have. I think this could be a phenomenally good ISO, actually even for defense. Yeah, the tacticians are going to run snappy tactical, but if you're running like a bruiser and you don't want to do big and fast or anything, or you're running an infiltrator or something like that, my guess is that this will even prevent border debuffs from, like, downgrade. Downgrade is border. That means it'll pierce the Mystic, it'll pierce Hafe, and immunities and everything like that. I think this will probably protect. You can't do ranged like Caltrop. You can't do melee like Butterfingers and all those, like from Famine Rogue and stuff like that. Also what Chase does. And probably it will prevent you from getting Mangle, where you can't use buff and defensive abilities, which is not that strong, but it's out there a little bit. And hopefully, and this is the big one, will stop you from getting downgrade. Downgrade is perhaps one of the biggest things that we may face with, like, Victor and the Hardlock rifle, or the Pulse, the Volt 1. This may be good for that. Now, whether or not... I'm pretty sure it's not going to prevent against exhaustion, locking you out from free actions and stuff like that. I think it's all going to be the action types. Defensive, melee, ranged, buff, all those kinds of things. That could be pretty handy. And for, 30 gold right after a sale, that might be worth it. We also have the Stars and Stripes sale going on, which has happened every year for a while. We have the... Captain America ones, we have the Iron Patriot ones, and we have the Iron Man ones. The weather control device is back. Honestly, if you did not get the weather control device when it was on sale the last time, you are perhaps the biggest idiot in the world if you do not drop gold and get it now. This is a huge weapon along with the Mystic and the Neurotrope and the Cube to get. Now, the Hadron Collider is not a game changer because it really has no defensive ramifications. You cannot pull that off on defense. If you build a team around the, the whole aftershock and the ground effects, you might not use it. If you build the team around it giving you the guaranteed crits and you build a deadly crits team, you may not use it unless you're snappy tactical. If you're trying to build it around magnetize for like Magneto Victor or Rescue, again, there's no guarantee the AI is going to use the right one. Offensively, yeah, I think it, goes up to a good 85-90% usage offensively. Defensively, I'm going to give it like a 30. 25-30%. It's not good. And I'll maybe bump it up to about 40 with Snappy Tactical. So we have new items. They are the balanced one of 13-230. It is a newspaper. We have the Nano Spider Tracers, which is the defensive tilt, and we have the Fedora Noirs, which are the offensive tilt. Now, there's a really funny graphic out there on the internet. It's the percentage of effect of different forms of contraceptions, like the pill, condoms, and it's a fedora, and the fedora is at 100%. So look that one up. It's really funny for all you people who know hipster friends and everything. So, let's look at the PvP rewards over here, and we'll look at Vision. So, I'm just going to go with this. I'm not even really going to change it, although potentially putting in the Hadron Collider here for either the cube or the weather control device could be good, because it actually allows my agent to do something offensive aside from just improbability field atom smasher. Because that's really the only offense I really have. This doesn't count. Defending team, we'll go with exactly what we've had before. It was getting the job done last season. It's Hugin's Eye, the weather control device, Scroll of Runemeroth, and the Mystic. Everybody here is a bruiser, so they're probably all going to use the Enrages. So the rewards, 100k silver, 10 gold. The Black Roscoe, always active, button man, high chance to counter enemies' counterattacks and follow-up attacks. So that's pretty cool. That is, that's Hafe, that's the Raft Shank. That's pretty nice. It's customized, deadly crits, special oh, it's a special functionality. You get deadly. This might be one of the best special functionality games items outside of the Cosmic Cardinal. This damage is weak because we're in PvP, but I bet you at full strength this will probably do a lot of damage. This could be very, very interesting. Combat Empowered ISO 8. For Scrapper classes, prevent effects that lock out melee. You are immune to Winded, and performing a follow-up attack increases. Oh my god. Think of Union Jack. Oh my god. Union Jack with his personal ISO and this? Oh, good Lord Jesus. That is going to be that's going to be disgusting, guys. That's potentially Chase. Well, no, Karnak isn't a follow-up, but oh my god. Rocket Raccoon and UJ groups might really show up all of a sudden with like Magia Triggerman. And speaking of Magia Triggerman, that's where Spiderman Noir comes in. Oh boy. I really suggest everybody push towards this ISO. There are some characters that are going to make phenomenal use of that. Think of Sabertooth. Sabertooth has that Berserk passive where he has a chance to follow up on people with that. You might see Sabertooth and Ares teams coming back out of the woodwork again. Or Psylocke Sabertooth, or Union Sabertooth, not Union Sabertooth, Star Saber team, Star Lord and Sabertooth. But here's Spiderman Noir with that Roscoe. He has a passive of Danger Sense where he has a chance to avoid incoming attacks, and he will preemptively counter stealthy enemy attacks. Oh, get shit on, Quicksilver. This is not triggered by symbiotes. Not that many symbiotes are going to be stealthy except for a few, well, some. One Spider-Man type will not. Yeah, it's, you know who it's going to be? It's basically going to be some of the symbiote offenders out there, the people you run into in PvE, and one form of hybrid. Triggerman, chance for a follow-up attack when an ally does a counter or follow. So think of Union Jack and this dude together and that gun. Gum up the works, webbed and flanked. Flanked, it's right there. There's the setup. So we have a webbed and a fumbling. Now we have a webbed and a flanked. Packing heat. Attacks against web targets guaranteed to hit and crit, and he gains wind up. Bum rush, it's a combo setup and a target focus, and busting heads exploits webbing, exploits combos. So, with the exception of packing heat, he's almost as linear as Deadpool. 1, 2, 3. You can stop off and do 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and have that wind up available for his busting heads. So, Vision, yeah, let's pop over to Vision. I'm not really too sure what's going on with that Infiltrator version of him. Vision's usually around here. So, yeah, he is. So he's very clearly his Age of Ultron look. This is how he's represented in a lot of other games with this look. If we come over here to the Infiltrator version, see it says Melee Interface. I could imagine if that you got this suit, you start in melee, and then you can change to blaster and go to the ranged interface. That makes sense, but like, what are you gonna do here? Are you gonna... I don't know. I'm really confused by that one. I don't know how that's gonna work. So if anybody picks up the Infiltrator Vision, certainly mention it in the comments, and if I happen to, when I try it out, I'll do it. So here we go. Here is my first few battles of PvP. We'll see what happens. I truly do not expect the Hadron Collider to show up in PvP on defense. Offense, yes. I really don't think it's going to be used well on defense. Oh, and hey, I'm at 22k now. Wow, I've made a lot of bonus jumps in the off-season. So we've got a Molly and a Fandral. I go before the enemy Molly, but that's perfectly fine because I don't have to worry about the Mystic anymore thanks to the scroll. I do have to worry about Fandral getting pissed off at me over here. So, but that's what Hafe is for. So we're going to use the scroll to make sure that I can infect them with debuffs. And we are going to go ahead and hit them with the Exhausted because we want to work around Molly a little bit. Fandral's going to get pissed, but that's okay, because that happens. He uses On Guard, which is potentially risky. This could spell slight doom for Molly's Tantrum. So he uses Party On, but that's all he's going to be able to use. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he can... That's a free action now. The Target Pistol, that's... I would imagine this is not a particularly powerful team. Alright, so we are just going to bank on Molly's raw strength. We may not get a whole lot of exploiting in here if the On Guard fires. But fortunately, Combo Breaker does a huge amount of damage to Fandral. And we set him up for that to happen. Molly's going to taunt. Hopefully that'll take her out. It won't. So as we... Well, we don't know that Hafe is asleep. Hafe will not counter an attack that's doomed to fail. So that was a pretty easy match. That was definitely worth a comparison because I thought I ended the season at like the 18k range over here in terms of hit points. So let's run a quick little compare. Poor guy's already down at 700. I feel bad. Yeah, so the armor... Yeah, this guy definitely got outclassed. But honestly, this is what happens in the first day. This is... We're all at the bottom of the blender. We all sink down there. And we need some spin-up time to get people to the ranks that they are supposed to. I don't know what is on the spinner yet. So that'll be interesting to see. I just... Wednesday, 8 o'clock at night, I just really cannot believe that they did this. I'm stunned. You know, some people in the line chat were like, there's new PvP items up there, and there's a Spiderman Noir guy up there, and we're like, oh shit, here comes PvP. Alright, so we see an item of the Vindication set over here. I like that gun. I'm going to lead with the Exhaust. Oh, I didn't actually use the Emerald Prism on Molly last match. That was a slight mistake there. So he does Valinor. Can't tell if that was a quick... I probably was not the quick one. But this is clearly a bleed team, which we are now going to be immune to. He's probably going to do Party On. And let's see what he does with this Vindication gun. You don't see this in PvP too often. Alright, so Molly will taunt. Hopefully Sabertooth will do a... Well, it doesn't matter what he does. Molly's going to keep the Enraged going. See, this is, yeah, that's typical of Sabertooth. He always starts with the tantrum, just kind of like how Ares almost always starts with the Crusher. Where did that extra turn come from? That's a little odd. Where did that come from? I'm gonna have to check that out. I think something very strange happened here. Wait a minute. What is going on here? How is he? I think he's running the combat communicator. Oh, damn it. Black Knight jumped in there. God, but Black Knight got demolished. I bet you this guy's running the combat communicator. Combat communicator does some really weird things. I have seen it beat Quicksilver in a match. I used the combat communicator for a while in my finesse team, which was Archangel and Psylocke. And my combat communicator, one match, clearly had me go before Quicksilver. I was very stunned by that. Wow, that's 95k. Molly's off to the races early on this season. He's going to res. We know that. I'm just going to punch him out. I'm going to bet he ran the combat communicator. And oh my god! 140k. Oh, well, that's why. Really outclassed. Still betting on the combat communicator. And 3, 2, 1. Combat communicator. That's why he had 2 turns. Combat communicator sometimes makes you go early and then you still get your natural turn. Very, very tricky item. Jesus, that guy got pummeled. Okay, so there's the beginning of PvP Season 22, the Spiderman Noir season. You can see what I'm going with. I'm probably going to stick with it. Hadron Collider may show up there for the cubes, because with Snappy Tactical, there's sort of going to be some redundancy in here, because this means people can't dodge. And then using the Hadron Collider also means a few things there. But the guaranteed crits, imagine Molly critting her way through her tantrum and then being buffed through the Emerald Prism. I might honestly take the cube out. I really might, and just see what happens. So, take care everybody. Enjoy the PvP season, and then Spider-Man ho!